Hi everyone. Today's Ask JP question, actually there are two questions, and they kind of follow this theme of virtual sponsorships. Been doing kind of a series of podcasts and videos about virtual sponsorships. The first is, how do you price your virtual sponsorship program? Here's the answer. I don't have the foggiest idea what's going to work for you, but I do have some ideas about how you might approach the pricing structure. First and foremost, what's the goal of the meeting? What's your strategic imperative? What are you trying to accomplish? Is this going to be something where you're just trying to gauge the industry and keep them active with you, or do you have some real hard numbers that you have to meet? Is it a gross revenue play? Is it a net revenue play? Because after all, the pricing and the budgets for these virtual meetings is going to be much lower than your on-site meetings are. So get a real sense of what the strategic imperatives are, but also what the budget goals are for that event, because that's going to tell you a little bit. I know in these previous discussions we've been talking about interviewing your sponsors, talking to them. What do their budgets look like? How accepting are they of the virtual format? Do they have other options to reach clients other than you? How important is your association platform for them to market and build their brand? Those kinds of things are going to help make you a little bit more aware of what they need from you and what the pricing is. And then finally, I want you to think about what other competitors are doing. Are they putting together virtual programs? What does their pricing structure look like? How do people evaluate your organization compared to those deliverables and those associations as well? That's going to give you a pretty good sense where your pricing might want to be. I'm thinking it's somewhere between what I've seen, somewhere around 30 to 40%, possibly less than your usual in-person events were. But again, I can't answer that without going through some of those questions with you, or you need to answer those questions of yourself, okay? And then, how do you sell the sponsorship? First and foremost, I think we're going to have to spend a lot more time educating and informing people, sponsors and attendees alike, about the virtual meeting. But for sponsors, the sponsorship platform that you're going to offer for them. They know what a coffee break looks like at the Broadmoor. They know what the welcome reception is going to look like at the Grand Hyatt in Atlanta or wherever it is, because they've been through it before. This is going to be new for them. So my recommendation is launch a webinar with your new sponsorship prospectus. Simple tiered sponsorships, 3 to 5 tiers. And I'm usually not a fan of tiered sponsorship, but I think it's got to be really simple so they can decide quickly, because you're usually operating on a pretty short time frame. Then launch that webinar. Talk about how you're going to save time, how you're going to save money by sponsoring this program. No travel, lower price point. You're going to save time because you're not wasting it going to things that you don't need to. Things like that. And then talk about the benefits of it. We're going to deliver you sales contacts. We're going to have a virtual exhibit hall where people can download collateral, look at your videos. We're going to give you the platform to set up one-on-one sales meetings. Heck, we're having more one-on-one sales meetings virtually now and through Zoom than I probably was driving back and forth into Washington, D.C. as an example. See the benefits of it? Talk about those. And the final thing is, what's the big upside of virtual? Data. Data. So launch that program with a webinar, explain those benefits, and then follow up, email and phone call to all those sponsors. Keep them updated, maybe with bi-monthly webinars or every other week, depending on what's going on, to keep them updated on the inventory. That communication and education is going to be absolutely critical to your sales process. Wish you well. I think you're going to knock it out of the park.